Bonjour everyone and welcome back to my channel, The Waves of Your Soul. My name is Marine and I'm really pleased to find you in here where we get to explore our emotions and intuitions that come in ebb and flow through tarot and oracle readings. So if this is your first time on my channel, welcome. I'm so pleased to find you here. If you're not yet a subscriber, can I invite you to subscribe to this channel because there's going to be a lot more readings. Timeless pick a card readings. I'm gonna throw in, we're gonna talk about everything tarot and oracle related, and yeah, I would love for you to join me on this great adventure. So without further ado, today I wanted to talk to you about a timeless pick a card reading centered around what is your hidden strength. What is this part of you that is this strength part of you that you potentially might not be aware of, that is actually always there to guide you, that is like a lighthouse in the dark, and that if you were to find out about it, you could actually, maybe you know about it, maybe you don't really know about it, and either way, how can we really like decipher and kind of hone in on what it actually is and how you can use it to help you through your life, to help you unblock things, to help you through challenges, to help you get what you want and just live your best life. So if this is so that's going to be the aim of this reading. So if this is your first time doing a pick a card reading and you're not really sure how it works, in front of you you're going to find 3 piles. So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Now all you have to do is use your intuition to decide intuitively which pile has the message for you. In order to help you pick the right pile for you, I have put 3 little seashells here, 3 different seashells, so you might use them to decide which one is calling for you the most. This is seashell number 1 for pile number 1. As you can see, it's very beautiful. I found all of them on my walks to the beach because I currently live in a tropical island. So yes, these are all little finds I find on my beach walk. This is seashell number 2 for pile number 2. So if this one calls for you, this is for pile number 2. And then we have seashell number 3, which is right here for pile number 3. So those are the 3 piles. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna offer you a 30-second meditation where I'm gonna leave a picture of those 3 piles at the bottom of the screen, and to allow you during this meditation to really release any tension you might be holding into your body, whether it's in your jaws, your shoulders, wherever it is, taking some deep breaths and trying to decide which pile calls for you the most. Once you've decided the pile that has a message for you, all you have to do is check in the bar below, in the, the comment box below, and you're gonna find all the timestamps for the 3 piles that I'll have put there for you. So without further ado, let's get started and I'll see you in your pile. Alright, pile number 1, this is the message for you. So if you chose this little seashell, this is gonna be the message for you concerning your hidden strengths. So like I was saying, today's pick a card reading is all about your hidden strengths. Maybe some part of yourself that are actually there to help you that you might not be aware of. We're gonna look at how that inner strength what it is, first of all, how it can help you in your life, and ways you can develop it, ways you can make it even stronger. So we're gonna actually look at this in a little bit, but for now I want to use the Tarot of the Holy Spectrum, which I really love, which looks like something like this for you guys who might be interested. This is a tarot we're going to use. So, because I know there's a lot of tarot lovers out there. If you're anything like me, then, you know, you're going to be obsessed with decks. So, without further ado, let's get started. We're going to use the Tarot of the Holy Spectrum to pick 2 cards that are going to be, first of all, representative of what your hidden strengths are. I'm going to apologize in advance. I am French. I have a very strong problem with pronouncing H's. Either I'm putting them in the wrong places or I'm forgetting to pronounce them, so you know, just bear with me guys, but hopefully, you know, you don't mind if hidden strength or hidden strengths, you know. Hopefully, you know, it's all about strengths. So let's have a look for my pile number 1, what 2 cards to represent your hidden strengths. Okay, let's go, let's get started. Okay, we have the 8 of Cups, and then another card for my pile number 1. We have the 4 of Cups. Okay, this is very interesting. So we're definitely in the emotional realms with you guys, my pile number 1. Cups representing, you know, there is a suit linked to the element of water. They represent our emotions, our intuitions, you know, the kind of like potentially relationships that we have with ourselves or with others, all to do with, you know, the feeling, the heart, the soul, all of that good stuff. And of course as well the intuition, so things to do with our, you know, linked to our third eye. So with that, let's have a look first at those 2 cards. So we've got the 8 of Cups here as well as the 4 of Cups. So straight away for you guys, I can see that your strength, your inner strength, the one that you might not be really aware you have, and yet that you could definitely like fall back onto and really dig into in your time of needs, lie into your ability to move away from people and relationship and feelings that are not good for you. I can see that maybe you're not aware of this, but you have a very strong capability of recognizing when things are not for you, recognizing when things are too toxic. Perhaps you're very good at walking away from drama. Perhaps you're very good at walking away from, you know, some people that you know are just gonna add extra problems into your life, those fake friends who actually are just trying to get you into their drama. Maybe relationships, whether they're loving relationships, friendships, or family relationships, where you feel like the balance isn't equal, or where you feel like maybe you're giving more than you're receiving. I feel like you guys are very good at recognizing those imbalance, those lack of equality, and you're very good at recognizing that and walking away from it. I think for you, maybe you're not aware of this for my pile 1, but you definitely, maybe you're not there yet where you can walk away from them, but you can at least recognize in your life when there are parts of your life where the relationships are not quite equal. Perhaps the environment is a bit toxic. I'm getting a very strong sense that you guys might be empath or have empathetic tendencies, which means you can pick up on vibes, but perhaps when you walk into a room, you straight away can sense if there's tension or if someone is sad, or you know, that kind of vibe. I'm getting a strong sense that you guys have that kind of ability, those empathetic abilities, and a lot of the time they're considered a weakness because it's quite overwhelming when you walk into a place, a room, wherever, a new job, or even just a waiting room at the doctor's, whatever it is, and suddenly you get hit with that wave of energy that's not yours. It can be very overwhelming, and some people even might say, you know, that, oh, you know, you're too sensitive, and they turn it like it's a weakness, but it's not. It's actually your strength. This is your, right? We're talking about inner strength. So for you guys with my pile 1, I can definitely feel that you guys are very sensitive, very empathetic. You can pick up on those, you can really tune to other people's emotion, whether you want to or not, very easily, and that's your strength. Whoever is telling you you're too sensitive is wrong. There's no such thing as being too sensitive. It just actually means you're very in tune with your heart, and that's a superpower. That is actually a really strong superpower. And that makes you really able to relate to people and to relate to their emotion and their experiences, even if they don't share the same life experiences that you do. It makes you able to really empathize with them and put yourself in their shoes, and this way it allows you to act as a better human being, because of course, when we can empathize with the suffering or the sadness or the joy or whatever it is of others, suddenly we're recognizing that everyone is equal, that we are all part of the same energy, and of course we're going to treat others more respectfully because we know that they're on the same length as we are, and that there's no one above or higher. Everyone is equal. So this is really the strength I'm picking from you guys. I can sense strongly that you're gonna have that inner strength of being like I was saying, having empathetic capabilities, being able to recognize when things might be for you or not for you. We've got the Eight of Cups here, which talks about leaving toxic things behind. This is eventually where you want to be able to do, right? Being able to protect yourself and being able to be like recognizing when things are a bit too much for you, and being able to walk away from that, to protect your peace, to protect your energy. I can feel like you're trying to get there with the Four of Cups. Maybe not all of you is totally there. Like you can recognize when an energy is not good for you, but maybe you're not fully able yet to walk away from it or to protect yourself correctly. But this is what we're going to do the reading for anyway. We're going to look at ways we can strengthen your strengths, your hidden strengths, and how you can use it and all of that good stuff. But already this gives me a good idea about the fact that you guys are very, very good at dealing with emotion, with the more emotional side of life. So we're gonna keep drawing some tarot cards, and we're gonna look at how now that we kind of have an idea at where your hidden strength is, we're gonna look at how you can use it to help you, right? Okay, Temperance. We're gonna have to let that one come out. I love that. So ways you can and the Fool. Okay, see, the deck wants to talk today. This is awesome. So 2 major arcana cards here, beautiful cards. Absolutely love those 2 cards. That's a really, really beautiful reading. So straight away, as soon as I said ways this inner strength can help you, ways you can use it to help you, you've seen how the tarot straight away came up with those 2 messages. So the guides really want to speak on this today, especially with that Temperance card. So the Temperance card in the tarot, in the major arcana cards of the tarot, is a very spiritual card. It's the card that really focuses and talks about your connection to the other realms, your connection to a more beyond the veil, things we cannot quite grasp and see. So there's very different ways you can connect to a spiritual life. For some people it's gonna be through something they're gonna call God or the divine or the universe. For some people it's gonna be their guides. They call them their angel, their guides, their some people it's going to be animals. For some people it's going to be through nature. They're going to, for them that spiritual connection is through Mother Earth or nature, or that feeling that you have when you're walking and you're just looking at beautiful trees and you feel like there's something there beyond your understanding, that something is greater than you, the universe, whatever it is, right? Whatever you guys believe in, whatever your faith, whatever your belief, Temperance talk about that connection to that spiritual realm, that other realm, where there's gonna be whispers from your guides. I'm gonna go with guides here to be more encompassing, helping you to fill your cup. So it's super interesting that we have the emotional realm here, and we've got Temperance, which also features cups. So for you guys, your hidden strengths being linked to being very empathetic and being very able to pick up on emotions and being very tuned in to everyone else's emotions. The message for you on how you can help you in your life is that it's really this hidden strengths. You need to really be aware that it is a superpower for you in order to connect to that spiritual realm, to hear messages from your guides, your ancestors, the universe, the divine, whatever you guys believe in, and to use that to make the correct decision for you. Temperance card is really, it's like a light shining into the major arcana card to give you a breath of fresh air, to reminding you how special you are, to reminding you you're a being of pure light, you're so beautiful. It's such a beautiful card because it really talks about how special you are and how you're being guided all the way, how you're never alone. Even if you feel alone, you're never alone. There are other beings, other, entities, whether, like I was saying, animals, whatever you guys believe in, that are there to support you and your well-being. And your inner strength, being very connected to the emotional side, it can really help you to connect to that more intuitive side of you. I feel you guys are very intuitive. Maybe you're not even aware of it, but if you were to develop that intuitive side of you through meditation, through potentially even using cards, oracle or tarot decks, maybe it is through yoga, whatever you guys do. Maybe it's just walking and putting music in your ear and letting your mind wander. Maybe it's through dreams or journaling, whatever you guys do to connect to that inner, that kind of soul place, and to kind of let your brain quieten down so you can hear what your intuition and what your guides have to say. This is where your strengths could really help you, because there's some huge golden nuggets for you guys to pick up on to get the Temperance card. I'm getting you guys are a lot more, like, I'm not going to say psychic, I don't really like that word, but a lot more intuitive than you may think. And this could really help you into picking up, even more messages that are beyond understanding, going beyond what the ego is saying, going beyond what the brain is saying, and really tuning into that more intuitive, that kind of like third eye side of yourself, right? So another beautiful card for you guys that we have here is the Fool, to continue into that, how you can use that inner strength to help you. And with the Fool here, we really are talking about this idea of being positive and optimistic, and of not letting what other people feel or think bother you on your way. The Fool is the card of new beginnings. It's a card of jumping off a cliff and not really caring where it takes you, because you've got that enthusiasm, you've got that faith in yourself, you know your power, and you're willing to give it a shot, no matter if it's gonna be successful or not, just for the sake of living your life to the fullest. And this is where your hidden strengths could be really helping you in your life, is the fact that because I'm getting the sense that you guys are very good at, one, understanding how other feels, picking up on their feelings quite easily, and two, recognizing when things are not good for you and being able to protect yourself from those things or those people or those places, whatever it is, and to walk away from them. That capacity allows you more to start new projects, to go after what you want without carrying too much baggage. We're really seeing a correlation between the Fool here and the Eight of Cups. You can see on both cards how they're both walking away into the distance, going after what they want. They have very little baggage, but neither of them are carrying any luggage. They're just going off, deciding that all they need is within themselves. Because that's what it happens for you guys with my pile number one. All you need is in yourself. All you need is that inner strength, that capacity of being quite empathetic, that capacity of being very fluent in the language of emotions and of feelings, even if you're not aware of it, and also that capacity of protecting yourself from people or things that are not good for you, that are just gonna drag you down, give you some baggage that you don't want to carry. So this is how you can use that inner strength to help you in your life, is through making a point to listening to your guides, to making a point to developing that more spiritual, intuitive side of you, and also recognizing when you can just go for it and not listening to what others are saying, because I'm getting the sense the Fool card is a visionary. He's a visionary. He's going after things or projects or ideas that people are not even gonna have yet, and yet you're already there. So this could be a very strong very strong power for you guys, which is great. Now we're gonna do a little last little card before we move on to Oracle, is maybe ways your strengths, you know, something you can do to, like, how can I say this, ways you can protect yourself, maybe some of the ways that your strengths can have the more negative traits of your strengths that you want to be aware of, is the way I'm going to put it. Like, in what ways is your strengths maybe hindering you that you just want to be aware of, okay? Because a strength is a strength, but it still can have some more shadow side, right? So let's have a look. We've got 3 of Cups. Okay. So for you guys, this is going to be very simple. I can see ways that you are, maybe this inner strength that you have can be hindering you, is really relying on the fact that you want to be nice to everyone. Yep. This is my too nice pile. Potentially sometimes you're just, you know, the fact that you're quite empathetic and you can pick up on others' emotions, you're trying too hard to be nice to everybody, because you maybe sometimes you don't know how to say no, maybe sometimes you don't really know how to especially when they're friends or your family, like people you really care about. With the 3 of Cups, we talk about community, tribe, the people that really are soul family. Maybe that inner strength gets a bit diminished when you're around people you love, because it's harder for you to differentiate from, like, what your brain is telling you, what your heart is telling you, and what your intuition is telling you. So maybe this is something you need to be aware of, is you know, lacking a bit of that ability to use your intuition and use that kind of fluency you have in emotions with people you know and love, because it's always harder to be partial with people that, you know, we love. That's just how it is. So just a little caution there for you guys, something you maybe need to work on. So we're gonna go with those 2 cards and we're gonna have a look. Those 2 cards are gonna represent ways you can develop your inner strengths, right? Ways you can develop those capacities for you. And we have Transparent and Dive In. Wow, I love that. Can you see? Let me just move a little bit above that. Here. There. So we have Transparent and Dive In. Beautiful. So, wow. Okay. So I can see straight away there's a strong, you know, we're back into the emotional feeling here with the 2 hands holding. Definitely you guys are very emotionally in tune, whether you're maybe not aware of it or not. This is definitely something you're very in tune with, your emotions. So the advice for you on ways you can develop your inner strength is, first of all, by being with a transparent card, we're talking about being yourself. Remember when I was saying, a lot of people might have said, you're too sensitive, you should toughen up, you shouldn't be so sensitive. That's bullshit. Actually, you're perfect the way you are, and you need to be transparent with whoever you're dealing with. Being transparent in the sense of being truly yourself, speaking your truth, being honest and representing who you are. Don't put some fake pretenses. Don't try and be someone you're not. Don't try and act tough. Don't try and wear a mask because you're around people who are really not emotionally able and who are really just not even able to comprehend how other people are feeling. Don't be like that and thinking that if you're trying to blend in and be more like them, it's gonna be okay. No, that's not how it's gonna be. Remember, we have the Temperance card here, which is about your guides. Your guides don't want you to be someone you're not. They want you to develop those inner strengths that are in you so you can live the best life for you, right? And that goes through being yourself, being honest, being transparent, not acting the way that you know deep down is not you. You need to really speak your truth right now and being completely transparent and not hide anything. And that's how you're going to be able to attract the right crowd and the right tribe for you. The other advice here that we've got for you guys on how you can develop your strengths is dive in. So this really, really ties in with the Temperance card and the Fool. Dive in and look how she's about to jump. We have this strong idea that you need to really embrace that side of you more. Maybe some of you guys are a bit scared of your intuitive hits. Maybe some of you guys are a bit scared of that intuition. Maybe you're hearing or seeing messages that you're actually scared of you're just scared of that side of you because you don't quite control it yet. And that's okay, of course it's okay. But this is the fact that you're watching this reading right now is definitely a sign that you need to embrace that side of you and dive in. And the more you're gonna dive in deeper into that sensitive part of you, the more you're gonna be able to move forward and live your best life, right? So with dive in, we really have this idea of looking at yourself for who you are, all the parts of you, light and shadow, embracing those. And that's where the magic happens. We've got this really strong starry vibe here. So, remember, like, you can definitely be stars in the night, embracing that emotional fluency that you have, that empathetic side, that intuitive side, really embracing that as your strength and making that almost like a weapon where you're then able to fight off anything that's in your way and to shine bright like stars even when things are quite dark. So it's a really beautiful message for you guys here. Really lovely ways you can develop that truly by looking at yourself. We get the strong sense here that you need to embrace yourself for who you are. Don't make pretenses, don't lie. If you're suddenly embracing that more sensitive side of you and you see people around you being uncomfortable and they're trying to change you, then those people were not your friends in the first place. So it's okay, we can clear them away, walk away from them, make some space for new lovely people to come in, right? So it's okay to walk away. We're back to that first card. You might have to walk away from something that were not good for you in the first place, but guess what? When you leave old stuff behind and you make space for new things, new amazing things, always better are coming in. That's just the law of the universe. If you're crowded with old stuff that don't serve you, new energy can't come in, right? So that's just how it is. So I really hope this reading resonated with you, my pile one. I really enjoyed doing it, and I really hope that it brought you guidance, comfort, inspiration, and just it was really great to do that for you guys. Hello everyone, and welcome to your pile, my number 2s. So this is gonna be your message if you chose pile number 2 or you chose this little guy right here. So as I mentioned previously in the intro of this video, today's reading is all about your inner strengths. How that hidden strength, some potentially a part of you that you're not aware of, that is actually a really great quality, that if you were aware of it, you could hone into it, or even if you're aware of it, ways you can develop that strength and make it work even better for you. So that's gonna be our reading today, guys. So we're gonna look at those cards in a little bit, but first of all, we're gonna pull some tarot cards. The tarot I'm using today is called Tarot of the Holy Spectrum, which is great. This is what it looks like. For those of you out there who are tarot obsessed, as I am, I like to mention the decks I use because I think, some people just love decks as much as I do. So it's important to share, right? All the artists that do wonderful jobs. So we're gonna pull some cards, first of all, to represent what your hidden strength is. Because of course this is the theme of our reading. So let's pull 2 cards from the tarot deck to find out what your hidden strength is. Okay, very interesting. We've got the 5 of Swords. And we've got the 7 of Swords. Okay, this is so interesting. I'm not going to say which one, but another pile had only cups and you guys only have swords. So that is super interesting. Definitely I've got different people, different vibes, and that's great. That's what makes this so interesting. So for what your strength is, we have the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords. So here, straight away, we're in the mental realm. Swords represent our thoughts, our intellect, the way we communicate, everything to do with words and communication. So straight away I can see that you guys are very cerebral. You're very in your head. You're very mental. And actually that's something that's a really good strength for you guys. You have potentially a very analytical mind. You might be very good at picking out some details. Potentially you are really good at noticing things that others don't. Maybe you're very observant. You might be very able to, like I was saying, good with details. Also potentially very good with communication. Like maybe you're quite eased at talking in front of others, public speaking. Maybe it's part of your job, or maybe you have to do things that are quite that have to put you in a place where you have to use your communication skills a lot, or your analytical mind. I can see you guys also might be people that are very balanced in the way that you're very fair. You know, you use your mind to understand things, to comprehend things, to find solutions. So I get a bit of a Libra vibe from you guys. I don't know if any of you guys are Libras, but that's just that kind of like the energy I'm getting here. Anyway, so regarding of your hidden strengths, with the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords, it's really interesting because those two cards normally are considered a bit more, I'm gonna say, I don't believe there are any negative cards in the tarot, but other people will see those two cards as negative cards. Now, like I said, for me, there are no negative or positive card in the tarot. It all depends on context. Because the context here is about your hidden strengths, we're going to look at the positive side of those two cards. And the positive side of the 5 of Swords, to start with, is the fact that I was saying, the fact that you're very fair. The 5 of Swords normally talks about someone who is willing to fight regardless of consequences, and who's just that shark person that's gonna bite their way out of things. And with you guys, I can see that's not you at all. You're gonna be someone who's gonna be more fair, who's gonna look at both sides of the scale, potentially being more trying to be very equal, very unbiased, and you're very good at understanding other people's point of view from a very cerebral way, and not, working on other people regardless of consequences it might have for their well-being. So that's one of them. Part of your strengths for you, my pile number 2, with this 7 of Swords here, is also your ability to seeing bullshit for what it is. You have a very strong bullshit radar. Like, nobody's gonna do no deceiving shit or nothing sketchy, nothing dodgy around you, because you're gonna notice straight away. I feel like you guys, like I was saying, are very observant, and you also are very you're very tolerant of everyone. But if someone is trying to do some sneaky shit, you're not gonna be okay with that, and you're gonna call them up on it, and you're gonna be very honest and very truthful, almost clear cut. With the swords, of course, swords are they cut, right? They're very they're weapons as well. So you guys, I feel like in your hidden strengths, something you're not aware of is your ability to see things for what they are very clearly. Nobody can bullshit you. If there's something dodgy going on, you're gonna notice it, and you actually have the tools to tell them about it, to give that clear cut kind of again, we're in the swords realm here, so communication. You have strong communication skills, whether you're aware of them or not. And I think you could be very, capable of letting people know when they're acting not correctly, when they're acting not fairly, and doing so yourself in a very fair and human way. So I'm getting a lot of justice vibe. We're back to this Libra vibe here, where you can really see things for where they are, see things in a very cerebral way, and have your way with words, where if something dodgy is going on, you can have an impact and let people know they're not behaving the way they should. And even potentially you could be speaking out when someone is being bullied, maybe speaking out around social justice issues. Like, I see this strong advocate part of you. This is really coming strongly, is like you guys can be really strong advocates. We're getting this lawyer vibe here of someone who can really defend people who can't defend themselves, but in a way that is always fair and with words that are always going to have an impact, because you're able to put your emotion on the side a little bit to let your brain do the talking in a good way, right? Like in that kind of, in the sense that you're going to be very articulate, very fair, and that's going to be a great way for you to influence people to do better and also to get what you want. So a really unique energy for you guys with my pile 2, which is very different to the other ones. But yeah, that's very interesting. So we're gonna have a look at another 2 cards, and those 2 cards are gonna represent how this inner strength that you have, this inner energy that you might not be aware of, how that can help you in your life, ways that you can use it to help you. So we're gonna pull another 2 cards on ways that hidden strength can help you. Okay. Knight of Swords. What a surprise. I'm not surprised. And last second one, the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, this is interesting. So with the Knight of Swords, of course, we're back into the swords realm. Like I was saying, swords are all about intellect, communication, words, thoughts, all of that. And the Knight of Swords is someone who goes after, you can see the speed in the card alone, right? They're literally, they have the sword in hand and they're going for it, and they're not afraid of anything or anyone who stands in their way. This is the energy that I was saying about you guys. When you see something dodgy going on, or you see something unjust, because I can feel like you guys are really passionate about wanting you know, a more fair kind of world, whether it's in your workplace or in your family or in your relationship. You're not afraid to speak up and to let people know they're in the wrong. And with the Knight of Swords here, sometimes the Knight of Swords can be a bit too rash and a bit too quick and a bit too quick-tempered. But because we're talking about your strengths here, I get a really strong sense that actually with you guys, you're able to go after what you want and to let people know, speak your truth, you know, and without being shady, without being how can I say that, mean-minded. It's always said with a good heart and not with the intention of hurting anyone. And that's really a great strength that you have, and that's ways that, you know, this strength can help you, is to go after what you want. Use that part of yourself that is very eloquent, that is great with communication, that is very great with detail and analytical mind. Use that part of you to actually go after what you want, and you know, like the Knight of Swords, to go up, whether that is you know, starting new projects or finding another job or starting new relationships, or you know, whatever it is that you're starting at this moment in time. This inner strength that you have, it can really help you go get it. It's that really like go-getter kind of attitude that we have here. And with the 7 of Pentacles accompanying this card, which is interesting because they're both blue, and this tarot deck, like I was saying, it's a holy spectrum, so it's all about spectrum of colors. Anyway, I'm rambling. So with the 7 of Pentacles here to represent how this inner strength can help you, we have the sense as well of I can see you guys using that, like I was saying, ability to speak up, that fairer, balanced, justice vibe kind of mind. The fact that you're very fair, very eloquent, potentially very good at defending others that are not gonna able to defend themselves. The fact that you can speak in a way that's not gonna offend anyone. This is gonna help you build your career. This is gonna help you build your life legacy. This is gonna be very important for you guys, whether it's in your job, or in your hobbies or in your life in general. It's going to help you build that life heritage in the long run. With the Seven of Pentacles here, we have the idea of something that grows slowly but that also grows fully, and then planting some seeds that are going to harvest for many years to come. So if you really rely on that inner strength that you have, it can lead you to having rewards that would be, that might take a bit of time to get them, which is quite interesting, because it's quite, we could feel like it's opposite to the Knight of Swords, but the Knight of Swords mean that you guys can go after what you want really quickly, and that you have that quick-minded, ability to solve solutions, to find solutions to problems, all of that, that very quick-minded. But the reward that you can reap if you build an empire around that is going to be something very stable, very solid, and that's going to bring you rewards and allow you to harvest rewards for a long time coming. So you could really use them. This is why I was talking about your job. I feel like for some of you guys, you can really use that in your job, in your career, to help you to build something quite solid, quite stable, that can provide for you for the long time, So which is that's really interesting. A lot of swords and pentacles, so it's very interesting. So we're gonna pull one more card here to look at in what ways that inner strength maybe sometimes is kind of like hindering you, or maybe you don't know quite yet how to use it. So more the negative side of it, or just a little caution on how you can do better, almost, just one card to see like in what ways that inner strength is hindering you and what you can do to prevent it from becoming something that's not helping you. Queen of Swords. You guys, I can't make this shit up. Queen of Swords, yep. Okay. So, yeah. Yep. I'm hearing very strongly that I'm hearing definitely you're being told don't let this make you turn into a cold-hearted bee. Like, bee ... don't turn into one of those. Don't turn into one of those cold-hearted people that defend themselves away from the rest of the world, and because they can't, they just can't relate to others because they're too much in their head. The Queen of Swords, in her more shadow side, is someone who is very very cold-hearted, and also she can't really relate to people anymore because she's putting herself elevated, because she's quite genius in her way of brain. Her brain works differently. It's genius. It's that kind of very cerebral, and that's great, but don't let that cut you away from people to the point where you find yourself alone, or where you find yourself that you've removed everyone that loves you from around you because you were trying too much to tell them what they should have done better, right? So it's a very fine thread for you guys, a fine balance that you have to find between letting people know when they're in the wrong, and being able to go after what you want, using that very strong-minded, fair, cerebral, analytical part of you, but also don't let that part of you become so strong that you cut yourself off from everyone, and that you put yourself above others, because that's not actually, then you don't become fair. You just become exactly what you can't stand in the first place, which is someone who's not treating people equally. So that's a very good advice, I think, and that came very strongly. So yeah, thank you, Queen of Swords, for your message. So with the last two cards here, there's the first one that I pulled earlier. They're going to represent ways that you can develop that inner strength, ways you can, make it stronger, so you can rely on it even more. And we have, wow, protected and keep watch. Okay, this is really interesting. Let me put that out of the way so you guys can see properly. This is really interesting. See, straight away, keep watch I'm getting it back to this Queen of Swords here. So ways you can develop your strengths is through being aware of ways you are getting stronger, transforming. Like, you know, the snake is shedding skin, so of course they're transforming. They shed skin, so they become a new being. And this card really strongly here is letting you know, like, be aware of the times when you're transforming, you're becoming stronger, but don't become a predator, like I was saying, to the point where you maybe are being too harsh-minded on others and just not paying attention to their feelings. With the protected card here on ways you can develop your strengths, we get a really strong sense here that, like I was saying, maybe you can use that strength to actually help people that might not be able to actually help themselves. Maybe you can make a difference, like I was saying, around some social justice elements, or maybe with animal rights or nature, whatever it is that you guys are really passionate about. Some fights, I have a sense that some of you guys are really good, you've got that warrior energy. It's the sense of maybe you wanting to be a protector, and you could make a difference into others' life, like I was saying, whether they're people or other beings, by using those skills to actually protect them and to make a difference, and to use that warrior-like energy to to actually make some people's or others' life easier. I also have the sense here with Keep Watch that you're being reminded that you have the very strong power, like I was saying, to transform yourself. So ways you can develop your strengths is to always being willing to change, always being willing to go with the flow, and never trying too much to stick in the status quo, because with your guys' mind, I feel like you can adapt to many situations very easily, and that's definitely a very big ally for you guys in your life. A very big strength is that ability to adapt, to change, and to adapt to any situation, and to shed the skin like the snake that you don't need anymore. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys. Really good, super interesting. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, then please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up, to let me know in the comments what you thought, and to subscribe to my channel, as there's gonna be plenty more where this came from. And in the meantime, I want to thank you so much for everything. I'm sending you lots of good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Hello my pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. So if you chose this little seashell here, or you chose just the number 3, then this is the pile that has a message for you. So like I was mentioning earlier, today's reading is all about your hidden strengths. Maybe you're aware of it, maybe you're not aware of it. We're gonna find out what it is, and also ways it can help you in your life, ways you can use it to develop it, and all of that good stuff. So we're gonna look at this card, or those two cards, in a little bit, but for now we're gonna go ahead and grab this tarot deck here, which is called the Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. For you guys who are obsessed with tarot decks as I am, I'm gonna mention it here so you know. This is what it looks like, Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. I absolutely love it, and I think it's important to mention shout out some decks and support all the great creators that are out there. So without further ado, let's have a look at what your hidden strength is. We're gonna start with 2 tarot cards here that are gonna represent what this hidden strength is, what this hidden strengths, whether you're aware of it or not, what is it? So let's go ahead and grab 2 cards. We're gonna have here 6 of Cups and the 4 of Swords. Okay, very interesting. So with the 6, okay. So definitely your hidden strengths, I'm getting a strong sense that you are very imaginative. You're very creative, you're very imaginative, and you can definitely pull into that inner child that you have. You're very connected to your inner child, whether you're aware of it or not. You have that a really good relationship and still a really good strength lying into your inner child. With the Six of Cups here, usually it talks about nostalgia, about remembering memories from childhood. But here, because we're of context, because we're talking about hidden strengths, I can sense that you guys are very in tune with your inner child. You know what he or she want or they want. You've kept that kind of childlike ability to see things with a child's eye, so seeing, just that ability to enjoy the little things for what they are. Maybe it's really easy for you to be mesmerized and amazed because you still find joy and curiosity in the simplest of things. Some people might just walk past something, whereas you notice the beauty and the curiosity and the awe that there might lie in that actual thing. I can sense also with the Four of Swords here that you guys have, for me this card kind of links to dreams and the ability to rest, that kind of sacred rest, sacred pose, the ability to know when it's time to have a rest, and that links back for me to imagination, because I can feel like you guys sometimes maybe it's easy for you to kind of like disconnect and go into that dream space, or that, where you just put, that vibe when you're in the train and you're just watching the landscape go by and suddenly your mind drifts and you're imagining things and suddenly you're in other world and you're dreaming of dragons or dreaming of superpowers or dreaming of just whatever is going on in your brilliant imagination. I feel like for you guys it's very easy to tap into that side of you, that very like I was saying, inner child, imaginative, and very dreamy side of you, where it's easy for you to escape reality and so that you can imagine a new one. And this is a huge hidden strength for you guys, because it means that, one, you're very imaginative whether you're aware of it or not. Two, you can definitely use that to tap into that creativity. Three, you could use that to also help you in time of struggle find ways to find joy, because you can rely on that inner child connection that you have to your own inner child to bring, like I was saying, to see things, like children, everything they encounter, it's like it's the first time. They laugh so much more often than we do. They laugh at everything. They are mesmerized and amazed and in awe of everything, because it hasn't lost its beauty and its power to them, and that is such a huge strength. And I feel like for you guys, you still have that childlike mind, which is so beautiful and something so rare. So it's something you really need to nurture and protect at all costs. For sure, you need to protect that. So I think that's really beautiful. We're gonna look now at how you can, ways that you can use that hidden strength to help you, ways it can help you in your life, ways you can use it. So we're gonna pull 2 cards for this. I love that. I love this kind of hidden strength that you have. It's so good. Okay, King of Cups. Ways you can, and King of Wands. Wow, 2 kings. Okay, you guys don't mess about. Yeah, okay. Like I was saying with the King of Wands here, we have huge creativity powers. Like you guys are very creative, whether you're aware of it or not. You have the ability to tap into that passionate fire part of yourself that is very that creativity is like a powerhouse. So that's definitely, and that's linked back to your inner child, your ability to see things with a child mind, that very imaginative side of you. So that's beautiful. So ways you can develop it is, don't be afraid to tap into your creativity. Don't be afraid to own your creativity, right? We're at the king level here. We're not at the page or knight level. We're at the king level. So this person, they own their truth. They're quite eccentric. They don't think like everyone else. They're very original, but they're so comfortable in their own skin, that they don't give a shit if people don't really understand what they're on about, because they know they're visionaries. With this pile number 3, I'm getting a strong sense that you guys, you're not part of the norm. You could be quite, whether you're aware of it or not, deep down inside you, even if currently in your job or your relationships or your family, people think you're quite in the norm and you're quite, you're blending in with others. Deep down, you know that's not you. Deep down, you know there's someone who's very original, very different, who thinks differently, who sees things differently. I get that really strong sense that you guys have that something that's really unique about you, that maybe you've not yet been willing to embrace. And with the King of Wands here, the message is definitely very strongly telling you that you need to embrace that original side of you, that creative side of you, and use it to your advantage, because it's super powerful. It's like with the King here, it's a very powerful way to be. With the King of Cups here as a way that you can use this energy, this imagination, this inner strength to help you in your life. This with another king, so it's super interesting. You can really use it to build something of your life, build relationships, especially whether they're friendship, loving relationships, whether they're in your work relationships, whatever that may be. You can use that inner strength to build relationships that are going to be flourishing, that are going to be very nurturing, and that are going to be very equal, where you give as much as you receive, and where you can build a community of support that are going to be there for you through and through. If you guys really own your truth, that original side of you, that side of you that's very creative, original, unique, imaginative, and you really use that as your powerhouse, you're going to attract like-minded people that are going to be there for you no matter what. They're not the kind of people that are going to be jealous of you or saying you're too much or you're too this or you're too that. It's, this is actually how you're going to find your soul tribe. We attract who is like us. We're attracted by people who are like us, and this, if you actually own that truth, you can be like the King of Cups, building that, in that kingdom, finding people who are like-minded and who can nurture as much as give. And that's something so beautiful and important in life, to have that support there from people that you can trust, that you can count on, and that can be really there for you no matter what you're going through, and that are not going to be jealous or trying to stop you or thinking that you're too much. So that's something really, really interesting for you guys. Next two cards we're going to have a look at, next card is going to be around, because that's, obviously that's really positive and everything, but we're going to have just one card that's just a word of caution to represent potentially the ways that this strength that you have, this hidden strength, inner strength that you have, ways that maybe sometimes it might be hindering you, ways that sometimes it might be negative for you, and just a little word of caution on how you can make sure it always works for you and not against you. So for that, we're just going to pull one card. The Hanged One. Okay. Yep. Okay, Major Arcana card. Here you come. So, that's very interesting. Of course, yeah. Because you guys, like I was saying, are very... for you it's very easy to escape to other worlds in your head. Like, you can very easily distract yourself or escape into different worlds, like through dream states, through meditation, or even just your imagination, letting your mind wander. It's very easy for you to get stuck there and to actually get stuck in that void, and it can sometimes stop you from going after what you want. So I see the strong, those two are echoing to each other. You need to really embrace that imaginative, creative, inner childlike side of you and make it a strength for you to go after what you want, and not let it be an excuse to live in fantasy world where you're not actually doing anything. Because with the Hanged One here, we have the idea of someone being stuck in the void, someone being actually really unable to move forward, stuck in their head, and that could be the danger for you guys. That don't let that strength that you have become something that's hindering you by not allowing you to move forward, right? So you need to be quite active about this. You need to be in the action side. So that's that's interesting. Last two cards we're going to have a look at are the two oracle cards that you chose, that I pulled earlier, so I haven't seen them yet, but we're going to have a look, and they're going to represent ways that you can develop that strength. So we have adventure. Okay, see? I was saying like action, adventure, moving, like let's go. Okay, let's go guys, book your tickets. And hive. Why didn't I just talk about community? This is crazy. I can't make this shit up. I hadn't seen those cards, so I turned like, wow. Anyway, I love when that happens because it's always super interesting. But I just said this is crazy. Anyway, so I mean, literally the adventure cards, ways you can develop it. Go on that adventure. This is very King of Wands energy. This is the energy of someone who goes after what they want, who's very passionate, who goes on to that adventure, and who's not afraid to embrace that wild side of themselves. And with the hive here, of course, the hive is what? It's a community. Bees can't do it alone. Bees work in a community kind of setting. And with the hive card here, we have the strong sense that it resonates to the King of Cups that we had earlier, where we were talking about you relying on that side of you that you might be trying to hide, actually it being a super strength and allowing you to attract the right-minded people that are not going to be scared of you or jealous of you or there to judge you, but actually finding your hive, finding the place where you can actually fit just right in, right? Bees, they, like I said, they have that very community mind where everyone has its place, everyone is working towards the same purpose. And if you guys really tap into that imaginative inner child part of you and use that in all parts of your life, you're going to be able to attract the right tribe for you of people, just like I was saying, who are going to be there through and through, who are always going to support you and who are going to be your true soul tribe, your hive. So that is beautiful. I love that. So my pile 3, I really hope you enjoyed this reading because I really enjoyed giving it. If you did, then please don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if it resonated, what you thought of it, and please also make sure to subscribe to my channel as there's going to be plenty more videos where this came from. In the meantime, I'm sending you all the good vibes, and please keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!